Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of domain and range. This is standard A.2A in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 11 of the 2019 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we have a student working out at a gym continuously, and so this is continuous data because we do see this straight line. It's the opposite of discrete. So discrete data would be if we just had individual points represented here, right? Just individual dots, but this is continuous, so it's a straight line. And it looks like it goes up from that 100 down to the 0 if you're looking at the y, from 0 over to 50 if you're looking at the x. So the graph shows the percentage of the students' workout as a linear function of x. All right, so we don't necessarily need to actually define the function with the slope or anything like that, though we probably could if we wanted to. Looks like a pretty standard graph. What we do need to do is we need to find the domain and range. Now, the domain and range are not defined for us. So let's go ahead and just put those on here for us, because once we define them, they are not on our mathematics chart. So we're going to have to come into the STAAR test with that. The domain is the set of all independent. Right, so we always start with our independent variable values. And for most of us, we just kind of use the shorthand of x values. It's not always the x values, because sometimes they replace it with a different letter to represent something in the problem. The range then is going to be its partner, the set of all dependent variable values. And once again, most of us use the shorthand of the y values. But it's not always y. Sometimes the letter is replaced, and sometimes it's even just represented with that f of x, right? So that's kind of a different notation that we're learning here. And so let's see. We can look at our graph. First off, we need to notice that we have a closed circle at both ends of our line segment, which means we are going to include both of those points. Sometimes you'll get something that's an open circle. That means that you're not going to include that. You'll include everything up to that, but not that itself. So let's see. My domain is going to be, this is how I write it, and everyone kind of writes theirs differently. So what is x greater than? Okay, so x is greater than or equal to 0. And I say it like that even though I'm using that less than symbol because I've got the x on the right, and what I want to do is I want to put that in the middle. It is greater than or equal to 0. Right there, that's where it starts. The x is what I'm looking for, and then it comes all the way up here to the 50. And less than or equal to 50. So that's my domain. And then my range, we're going to do that same kind of thing. X is greater than or equal to, because it's closed and it starts here at this 0. Let's make that y, since that is the range. There we go. So it's the 0, and it goes all the way up here to that 100. So it's less than or equal to 100. Now, this is how you would write it as an inequality. As you could tell, we don't have inequalities. Another thing that we learn in Algebra 1 is how to write them in words. So let's see which one matches this, because this is correct. We just need to find the one that matches. So domain says all real numbers greater than or equal to 0, good, and less than or equal to 100. Oh, look at that. And this one says less than or equal to 50 for the range. So they flip these two. So they've got the correct numbers, they just put them in the wrong line. The domain is all real numbers less than or equal to 50, right here, not 100, so they flip those two. B, I can tell you B and D are just wrong because they are discrete and they just have random points, right? -2, -2, 100. Not even sure where that -2 comes from. I get the 100, but our answer here is going to be C because it's got the 50 and the 100 in the correct spot.